All right, I think we are live. I think I did it right. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. I'm just going to make a comment. If you have a blanket, a rolled up blanket, or 2 pillows, those will be helpful today just for some modifications. Great. So we'll get started. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining if you're here live. My name's Meg, and we'll go through about a 60-minute class today, a little vinyasa flow. We'll have some stagnant postures as well to drop in a little bit more. I wrote it in the comments, but if you have 2 pillows or a rolled up blanket, just something to use for modifications if you need. So just a quick note, my cats are going crazy, so you might see them run back and forth. Hopefully not too much, but they're really hyper this morning. Great, so we'll get started in a wide leg child's pose. So coming into all fours, bring your knees wide, so at least as wide as your mat. And then just let your hips start to sink back down to your heels as you walk your arms out in front of you and release your forehead to the mat. And this is a great place for modification. If your hips don't quite reach your heels, you can stick a pillow or a rolled up blanket on your heels to set your sitting bones on. We'll just stay here for a few breaths. Again, your forehead is releasing towards the earth. I'll keep mine lifted so you can hear me. But just taking a few minutes to start here, starting to draw some slow, deep breaths into your body. Whatever your morning has looked like so far, just taking this time to come back to yourself, maybe for a little reset. Bringing your awareness into your body and into your breath. Notice the way the breath moves through your body. Feeling an expansion on the inhale and softening on the exhale. And staying low, just start to walk your hands over to the right, however far feels comfortable. And reach your fingertips long. Your left hip continues to root towards the earth, so you're finding some length in your left side. Breathing up and down your left side here. Then start to walk your hands back to center and make your way over to the other side. So hands over to the left, keeping your right sitting bone rooted down to the earth, breathing length along your right side body. Your forehead continue to release towards the earth. And inhale, walk your hands back to center, finding a neutral child's pose just for a few more breaths. Maybe start to find some movement rolling along your third eye. Maybe rolling into your shoulders, starting to open your shoulders. Whatever feels intuitive here. We're just staying in stillness. When you feel ready, start to press yourself back up to all fours, tabletop position. Bring your knees a little bit closer together. So your hips will be stacked over your knees and your shoulders stacked over your wrist. Finding a few cat-cows here. As you inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, pull your heart open, broadening through your collarbones. Exhale as you press the floor away, round your spine, draw your chin towards your chest. A few more like that. Inhale as you broaden your collarbones and look up. And exhale as you curl in and round your spine. Just continuing to flow with your breath. Any other movements that feel good? Maybe rolling out your hips or finding some circles around your wrists. Just keeping your attention in your body and on your breath. And come into stillness with a neutral spine. Keep your left palm planted. As you inhale, sweep your right arm open and up. Exhale as your right arm comes under your left. Soften your right ear to the mat. So you're coming in to thread the needle. Finding a stretch in your right shoulder. And a couple options with your right palm. It can stay pressed right in front of your gaze, or if you want to walk your hand up over your head, or maybe even up and around, finding a bind. If you're noticing any constriction in your back or with your breath, just back off a little bit and breathe slow. If you have a bind, start to walk your hand back in front of your gaze and then press into your left palm to inhale once more. Sweep your right arm overhead. Maybe circle out your wrists. And then exhale, release right palm to the earth. Taking that on the other side, keep your right palm rooted. Inhale as your left palm sweeps wide and high. And exhale, draw left arm under right, soften left ear to earth. I'm not sure if you can hear me if I'm facing the other way. So if I'm ever not doing a pose with you, that's why. Same options apply here for your right hand. You can keep it right in front of your gaze, or if you want to walk it up over your head, or even up and around your back, finding a half bind. A few more breaths here. If you have a bind, start to walk your hand back in front of your gaze. Press into your right palm to lift yourself back up. Left arm sweeps wide and high. And exhale, release left hand to earth. Rocking from side to side here. Wiggling out your spine, neutralizing the twist we just did. We'll take one round of cat-cow. So inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, press the floor away, round the spine, draw chin towards chest. Inhale yourself back to neutral. Tuck your toes and start to send your hips up and back, coming into a downward facing dog. You can keep your knees as bent as you need. You're pressing the floor away with your palms. So you're lifting and lengthening up out of your joints, not dumping into your shoulders or your wrists. Your tailbone is reaching towards the sky. Let's start to wake up the legs here. So bend into your right knee as you straighten your left leg. You can sway from side to side or find any movement that feels good. And keeping your neck loose, head hanging heavy towards the earth, so no tension in your neck. And then switch legs, so your left leg bends, right leg straightens, waking up the back of your right leg. And then release, bringing both legs to straight-ish. They don't ever have to be straight. Your heels also never have to touch the earth, but just so they're energetically pulling that way. So take an inhale, come up onto the balls of your feet, and exhale, drop your heels over to the right. Try to evenly press down toward your palms so your weight is evenly distributed on your palms, but you're feeling a stretch along your left side. And maybe just notice the further you send your hips to the right, the more of a stretch in the left you'll get. Inhale your heels back to center. And exhale, drop heels to the left, feeling a stretch in the right side body. Notice your breath. Continue to breathe deep and long. And inhale your heels back to center. Come up onto the balls of your feet once more. And exhale, release your heels to the earth. Start to roll yourself forward, coming into a plank pose. Pitching your weight just slightly forward so your shoulders stacked over your wrist. Then as you exhale, bend your elbows, lower all the I almost squished my cat. Lower all the way down to the earth. Release your toes so the tops of your feet are pressing into the earth. We'll find a few cobras here. So as you inhale, activating your legs, press palms into earth as you lengthen your heart open, run through your collarbones. Kind of like that cat pose we just did, or cow pose. Exhale, release forehead to earth. 2 more like that. Inhale, as you press the floor away, lift and lengthen. Exhale, release. 1 more like that, using the strength of your back, lift yourself up. And exhale, forehead to mat. This time as you inhale, press yourself up through all fours or plank pose and send your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Just 1 breath here. And then start to slowly walk your feet towards your hands, making your way to the top of your mat, finding a forward fold of your choosing once you arrive. So keeping a pretty generous bend in your knees. Just allow your head to hang heavy and lengthen towards the earth. You can grab for opposite elbows here if you want to come into ragdoll, maybe swaying from side to side. Maybe you want to find a bind on your feet. Whatever best serves you today. But with each breath cycle, you're softening and opening up. If you have any grip, go ahead and release fingertips to earth. And then slowly, slowly, keeping a bend in your knee, roll your spine all the way up. Your head will come up last. And then continue reaching your arms up overhead. And I do realize my body's cut off. Let's see. Palms are going to meet overhead. And exhale, draw hands to heart center. We'll find a few rounds of movement with our breath here with our hands. So as you inhale, sweep your arms wide, palms reach up overhead. Exhale as you draw everything towards midline down to your heart center. A few more times like that as you inhale, reach up. Exhale, ground down. One more. Inhale, expand open. And exhale as you root down. Inhale, reach your arms up. This time, grab your left wrist with your right hand. Inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, bend over to the right. Evenly pressing weight into your feet, keeping your tailbone tucked in. So you're not flaring out your ribs, but everything's integrated. And inhale yourself back to center. Switch the grip of your hands. So grab left wrist with right hand. Lengthen up. And exhale over to the left. Breathing here, softening your shoulders away from your ears. And inhale yourself back to center. Reach your arms up once more. And exhale, draw hands through heart center. And start to hinge at your hips. Find a forward fold again. This time as you inhale, press your hands into your shins, or you can keep them on the floor. Find a halfway lift with your spine, lengthening crown to tailbone. Exhale, forward fold. We'll do that twice more. Inhale as you lengthen your spine, halfway lift. And exhale to fold down. One more inhale. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And this time as you exhale, plant your palms and step your left foot back. You can soften your back knee to the earth. And inhale, reach your arms up overhead, coming into a low lunge. We'll run through a couple different poses with this low lunge variation. If you ever want to take it up a notch, you can always come off of this back knee and amp it up a little bit. If this is hard on your knee, you can also grab a pillow and place it under your knee. So inhale, lengthen up. And as you exhale, grab left wrist with right hand and bend over to the right. You can come however deep in this front knee you want, maybe coming in and then backing off. Continue to breathe. Inhale yourself back to center, arms reach up. Exhale, plant your palms on either side of your front foot. Keep your left palm rooted. As you inhale, sweep your right arm open and up. You're twisting open to the right side. Pressing the floor away with your left hand to twist yourself open. Inhale, lengthen up, one more breath in. And exhale, release right palm to earth. Inhale, sweep arms up overhead, low lunge. Exhale as you draw your palms to your heart. Inhale here to lengthen your spine. And then as you exhale, hook left knee on right, or left elbow on right knee. And twist open to the right. So you're broadening here through your collarbones. Shoulders roll away from your ears. And you're using the leverage of your left elbow to twist yourself open. And anywhere you feel tension in your body, you can always back off or send some slow, deep breaths there. One more inhale here. And release as you exhale, unravel. Reach arms up overhead once more. And exhale, plant your palms to the earth. Start to straighten through your front legs. Send your hips back. Coming into a half split. Keeping your spine long, so you may not be able to fold this far down. But you're lengthening your tailbone back and your crown forward. Front toes are super active, flexing towards your knee. Just breathing here. Start to bend into the front knee, walk your hands forward, press off your back toes, and step your left foot forward to meet your right at the top of your mat. Inhale to find a halfway lift, and exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. This time as you exhale, plant your palms, step your right foot back. Softening your back knee down. And inhale as your arms reach up overhead. Low lunge. Same thing applies here if you want to take it up a notch and come off of that back knee at any point. Also doubling up your mat or placing your knee on a pillow for some patella relief. It's always a great option. So inhale as you lengthen up, shoulders roll away from your ears. This time as you exhale, grab your right wrist with left hand and bend over to the left. Maybe coming in and out of that front knee, deepening and then backing off just slightly. Where's your breath? And inhale yourself back to center, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, palms plant. Keeping your right palm rooted this time. Inhale as your left arm sweeps wide and high, opening up to the left. Actively pressing the floor away with your right palm to twist yourself open to the left. And wherever is comfortable for your gaze, sometimes it's a lot on my neck to try to look up. So you can always keep your gaze looking straight or even down. It's also a little bit easier on your balance. Exhale, release your left palm to the floor. And inhale, arms sweep up overhead once more, low lunge. And exhale, draw your palms to heart center, palms pressing together. Inhale to find length in your spine. And exhale, hook right elbow outside left knee, twist open to the left. So same thing here, your palms are actively pressing against one another, broadening, pulling your chest open. Trying not to constrict your breath. One more inhale here. And then release, unwind, reach your arms back up overhead. And exhale as you plant your palms, straighten your front legs, send your hips back, half splits. Inhale as you lengthen your spine. And then exhale, draw your heart towards your foot, which probably sounds impossible, because I think it is. But just energetically pulling your heart towards your foot. And slowly, slowly start to bend into the front knee. Walk your hands forward. Press off your back foot. Step your right foot to meet your left at the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward. This time as you inhale, come all the way up. Reach arms overhead. And exhale, draw hands to heart center. Just taking a moment here to come back to your breath. Maybe closing your eyes, rooting your feet into the earth. And we'll flow through all of that one more time, a little bit quicker, flowing about one breath to one movement, but take it however slow you need to keep your breath controlled and keep your movements fluid and intentional. So let's take one inhale and clearing breath together. Breathe in deep, fill up. Exhale, open mouth, sigh it out. Let's begin. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hinge at your hips and fold. Inhale to find a halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Oh my gosh, so sorry. Hold on just a minute. I told you guys my cats were going crazy. I'm so sorry. Let's start again. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine, halfway lift. Exhale as you plant your palms, step your left foot back, soften your knee to the earth. Inhale, lengthen up, low lunge. Exhale, lean over to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, palms plant. Keep left palm rooted. Inhale, right arm sweeps open, twisting to the right. And exhale, right palm releases to the earth. Inhale, arms sweep up, low lunge. Exhale, draw hands through heart center. Stay here for the inhale as you lengthen your spine. And exhale, hook left elbow outside right knee, twisting open to the right. We'll stay here for one breath cycle. On your next inhale, unwind, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, plant your palms, straighten front leg, send hips back, half split. We'll also stay here for an extra breath. Feeling a stretch in that back of the right leg. And start to walk your fingertips forward, press off of your back foot, step it to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Other side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step right foot back. Soften back knee to earth. And inhale, low lunge. Exhale, over to the left, bending to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, palms plant. Keep right palm rooted. Inhale, left palm sweeps open. Exhale, release left palm to earth. Inhale, rise up, low lunge. Exhale as you draw hands through heart center. Stay here for the inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, hook right elbow outside left knee, twisting open to the left. Staying here for one full cycle of breath. And with your next inhale, unravel yourself, release, open up, arms overhead. And exhale, palms plant, straighten front legs, send your hips back, half splits. Staying here for a breath as well. And start to walk your hands forward, press off the back foot to step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, this time come all the way up to standing, arms reach up overhead. And exhale, draw hands through heart center. And just taking a moment here, closing down your eyes, slowing down your breath. Maybe any open mouth exhales feel good. Clear out. And we'll come into tree pose. So if you're familiar with this pose, you can come on into it. We'll start with our right foot rooted. So really rooting your right foot into the earth, and you're actively pressing the floor away. So you're not dumping into any of your joints, but you're pressing into the earth to lift up and out. Equally rooting through all four corners of your feet. And then your left foot can just rest right here on your ankle, kind of like a kickstand, or bring it up towards your calf. or all the way up to your thigh, opening your left knee up. And again, your right leg is really strong and stable, so your left foot is rooting into your leg, and then almost at the same time, your right thigh is pressing back. We'll be here for a few breaths. If you feel comfortable and stable, you can bring your hands to heart center, or even reach your arms up overhead, grow your branches. Your gaze can be at one focal point on the floor to help with balance. If your hands are raised, bringing them back to heart center, releasing left foot to earth. And just roll out your right ankle, your right leg. We'll take that on the other side. So grounding into your left foot, equally pressing to all four corners and into the ball and your heel evenly. Rooting in to lift up, and then wherever you'd like to place your right foot. Your right knee is going to open out to the right. And if you fall out, just come back with as much grace towards yourself as you can. Bring your hands to heart center. If you want to grow your branches, reaching up overhead. And eventually releasing your right foot down to the earth. Roll out your left. And come back to the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at your hips, find a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift as you lengthen your spine. And exhale, plant your palms. This time, step all the way back to plank pose. Staying here for just a breath. And then exhale as you bend your elbows, slowly lower all the way belly and forehead to earth. And bringing your fingers wide, your hands wide, so at least as wide as your mat. Let me move this down. Coming up onto your fingertips. We'll take an inhale here to press into your fingertips and lift your heart up. So it's this wide cobra. And then as you exhale, dip your right shoulder and look over your left. Inhale yourself back to center. Exhale, dip left shoulder, look over right. And inhale back to center once more. And exhale as you release your forehead to the earth. Bring your hands back under your shoulders and press yourself up either through all fours or plank pose. Find your way to downward facing dog. So hips up and back. Inhale as your right leg sweeps up. And exhale, draw your knee into your nose and step your right foot between your hands. You're going to spin your back heel down, coming into warrior two stance. And inhale your arms up to warrior two. So your back foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat. There's a bend in your front knee, however far you want to go. Just make sure your knee isn't over your ankle. And then your front knee is also tracking a little bit open. So if you look down, you should be able to see your right big toe. And then your arms are lengthening straight out from your shoulders. Shoulders roll up, back, and down, away from your ears. We'll stay here for just one more breath, and then we'll start to find some movement. So as you inhale, start to straighten your front leg and reach your arms up overhead. Maybe your gaze lifts. And exhale, bend your front knee, sink back down into warrior two. A few more times like that as you inhale, lengthen, reach up. And exhale, soften down. One more inhale, grow tall. And exhale, root. Stay here for one breath. And this time, keeping your front leg bent, start to reach your right hand up and back, coming into reverse warrior two. Your left hand can lay along your left leg. Just make sure it's not pressing into your left knee. You can even wrap it around to find a bind. But you're breathing length all along your right side body. Reaching right fingertips up towards the earth. One more inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, cartwheel your hands to the earth. Come up on your back toes so you're in a low lunge. And then wiggle your right foot out to the right edge of your mat, coming into a runner's lunge. We'll be here for a little bit of time, so a couple different variations. You can always soften your back knee. In fact, I recommend it. Again, if this is sensitive on your knee, you can always roll up your mat or place a pillow under your knee. And if you have enough space in your body and you want to come down onto your forearms, that's an option. You can also widen your right toes out, widening your right knee, just noticing where that changes the stretch. Keeping your spine nice and long, so try not to round and curl in, but really broaden through your collarbones. And then one more final option. If you want to find a quad stretch, you can bend your back knee and reach your right arm back to hook it on your left foot. If you're here, I always like to give myself a little massage on the bottom of my foot, just a little bit of extra love. Be finding some pressure points. I know we're not walking as much as we are used to, but our feet still do so much for us. If you have the bind, go ahead and release. Coming back to a runner's lunge, and then start to walk your right foot to the other side of your mat, coming onto the outer edge of your right foot, laying your shin along the mat, and walk your left foot back, coming into pigeon pose. In your front shin, your right shin does not have to be parallel to the top edge of your mat. In fact, you can probably find a little bit more support if it's not. So wherever your shin feels comfortable, and then sink your hips down. If you have some space between your right hip and the earth, you can always take a pillow and put it under your right glute. You can stay here lifted and lengthening up, or if you'd like to fold forward, just recommend you find some length first, and then keeping that length, then fold forward. You can release forearms to earth or forehead to earth. We'll be here for a few breaths. Notice any emotions that might be coming up. Just be interested in what you're feeling, not just in your body, but in your psyche. Release any tension in your jaw. Slowly, slowly start to draw yourself back up, planting your palms on the earth. Tuck your back toe and start to unravel yourself, sending this right leg back to downward facing dog. And anything you need to do to kind of even out your hips. So maybe lifting your right leg, opening your hip, or just rocking your hips from side to side. We're going to take all that on the other side. So as you inhale this time, left leg sweeps up and back. Or as you inhale, and then exhale, draw knee towards nose, step left foot between your hands. Spin your right heel down, coming into your warrior two stance. Once you feel strong and rooted, circle your arms up and sink into the pose. So again, your back foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat. You're pressing into your back foot to start to open your hips. Front knee is tracking over your ankle. And then your arms are reaching out long. Shoulders roll up, back, and down. Soften away from your ears. We'll start to find some movement here, just like we did on the other side. So as you inhale, straighten your front leg, reach your arms up. Exhale, soften into your front knee, back to warrior two. Two more like that. Inhale as you reach up and lengthen. Exhale as you soften and root down. Once more. And exhale, release. Stay here once more for just a breath. And then keeping a bend in your front knee, reach your right hand or your left hand up and back, finding a reverse warrior. Right hand lays along your leg. Just again, make sure it's not pressing into your knee joint, or you can even find a bind. Wrap your right hand around, trying to find your left hip. Wherever you are though, you're lengthening up out of your left side body, reaching your left fingertips to the sky. One more big breath here, fill up. And exhale, release, cartwheel your hands all the way to the earth. Coming onto the ball of your back toe, start to wiggle your left foot wide to the edge of your mat, coming into low runner's lunge. And same options apply here as the other side. So you can soften your back knee, maybe coming onto your forearms or staying lifted. Widen your right toes if you'd like, widening your right knee, or your left knee, your left toes and left knee. Oh, I also forgot to mention the option to roll up your mat if your knee is sensitive. And then if you'd like to here, to find the quad stretch, start to bend your right leg, reach your left arm up and back, grabbing for your right foot. And give your foot some extra love, kneading your thumb into some sensitive places on your foot. Release the bind if you have it. Lower right knee to earth. And then start to wiggle your left foot to the other side of your mat, coming into that half pigeon. So left shin will lay on the earth. Walk your right toes back, coming onto the top of your right foot. And you can stay here lifted, or if you'd like to forward fold, just make sure you're creating length first and then keeping that length, lower chest and forehead to earth. And this time for modification as well, if your left glute is popping up off the earth, just take a pillow and put it under your left side just for some support. And then start to soften. Let your breath unravel this pose. Unclench your jaw. Slowly, slowly start to press yourself back up. Removing a pillow if you have it. Come up onto the ball of your back foot and just start to unwind yourself, coming into downward facing dog. And anything you need to do to even out your hip on this side might be the same or something different that you took on the other side. Just moving slow. Bring your knees to the earth, widening your knees, coming into that wide leg child's pose that we started class in. Sinking hips to heels, reaching arms out long in front of you. Just let your forehead drop to the earth. Start to press yourself back up. And just as easy as you can, find a comfortable seat. Reach your legs out long in front of you. This is also a great place for a pillow just to sit on to kind of elevate your hips. Maybe rocking from side to side to remove any flesh from your seat. And inhale, lengthen your arms up overhead. As you exhale, find a forward fold to any degree. I would recommend for these first few breaths just to keep your spine as straight as possible. So it's a very similar action to that half split. You're lengthening up and then reaching your heart towards your feet. Shoulders roll away from your ears. Just find a few breaths with this straight spine variation. And then if you'd like, you can start to invite a little bit of rounding and just let your head drop down towards your shins, knees, thighs, wherever your forehead lands, or just even towards your chest. Returning to that nice deep breath if you've lost it. Slowly roll yourself back up, reaching the crown of your head towards the sky. Lengthen your arms up overhead once more. And exhale, palms to earth. And then bending your knees, plant the soles of your feet on the earth, and just slowly roll one vertebra at a time along your back to lay on your mat. And bring your knees to your chest, hug your knees in. You can grab knees with your hands or wrap your forearms around your knees, just rocking from side to side. Release the soles of your feet back to the earth. Cross your right knee over your left. Scoot your hips over to the right just a little bit and draw your knees over to the left. Opening your right arm up to a cactus or a T. Just a gentle twist here. Each exhale softens you a little bit more into the pose, just letting gravity do its work. You can keep your eyes open or start to soften your gaze, maybe even close your eyes. And inhale, bring your knees back to center. Switch the cross of your legs. Scoot your hips over to the left just a little bit as you let your knees fall to the right. Left arm comes out to a cactus or a T. And breathe here. And inhale your knees back to center. Release the bind. Hug your knees into your chest once more. Release soles of feet to the earth. And then bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall wide. So you're in a Supta Baddha Konasana. If your knees don't quite reach the earth, you can bring your pillows up under your knees for some support. And place your hands wherever feels comfortable. Maybe that's on your body somewhere. Your thighs, your belly, your ribs, your heart space. Or just let them lay long on the earth in front of you with your palm, or by either side with your palms up. And I'm going to lead us through just a little bit of breath work. So staying in the same pose that you're in now, if it's comfortable. Keep your eyes closed if that's comfortable as well, or soften your gaze. We're going to do alternate nostril breathing. It's also known as Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. Also channel cleansing breath, so lots of names. If you're familiar with the breath, it's pretty simple. Typically we use the right hand to plug each nostril. We're not going to do that right now, so leave your hands wherever they are and just use your awareness to follow the breath in and out of the nostril. So it'll go like this. You'll inhale through your right nostril just using your awareness, and exhale out your left nostril. And then inhale your left and exhale your right. So following the breath up through each nostril to the space between your eyebrows, and exhale to the opposite. So I'll lead us through a few rounds, and then you'll have a few breath cycles on your own, and then we'll come out together. So before we get started, just take a deep breath in through both of your nostrils, and exhale, release. We'll begin. So as you inhale, bring awareness through your right nostril, the space between your eyebrows. Exhale from that space out your left nostril. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4, Exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4. Inhale left. 2, 3, 4. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. Continuing on your own for a few breaths. Next time you breathe out of your left nostril, inhale through both nostrils. And exhale, just release the breath, let it go. Come back to your normal breath. Taking a few moments just to notice any subtle or maybe not so subtle changes. You can linger here however long you'd like, or if you're ready for Shavasana, start to lengthen your legs long in front of you, releasing your hands by your side, just allowing yourself to take up as much space as you'd like, no tension at all in your body, so completely surrendering to the support of the earth underneath you. And just rest here for a few moments. I'll bring us all out together. Start to draw your awareness back into your body, back into your space, bringing some slow, gentle movements, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Roll wrists and ankles. Rolling your head from side to side. Maybe reaching arms up overhead, lengthening once more, stretching along the entire length of your being. And then gather your knees into your chest. Roll over onto any side that feels comfortable. Just pausing for a moment in this primal position. Feeling supported and loved. If it feels comfortable, keeping your eyes closed, start to slowly press yourself up. Just coming into a seat, whatever seat feels comfortable, cross-legged. Maybe sitting on your shins. Resting here for a moment, feeling the effects of your practice, honoring the time that you spent with yourself. No matter how crazy the world seemingly is, or is, hopefully you can always come back to your breath, to yourself, to the present moment, and know that everything is safe and everything is okay. I invite you to bring your hands to heart center, pressing your palms together. Just seal your practice, our time together with one breath cycle. Take a deep inhale to fill up. And exhale, release. Slowly blinking your eyes open, taking in your surroundings. Maybe noticing if anything looks different. And thank you guys so much for joining. My name's Meg, and I'll probably be doing this every Saturday. I feel like this is a good time, as opposed to the middle of the week. If anybody has suggestions or recommendations for anything they want to do differently, I'm always open. And next time I'll put my cats in another room. Hopefully they were distracting for me, but hopefully not too much for you all. So wishing you a beautiful Saturday, and I hope to see you all soon in the real world, face to face. All right, peace.